The career of a Major League Baseball player can be like the changing tide. At least that's how it was for New York Mets utility player Fernando Tatis. The slugger from the Dominican Republic made his Major League debut in 1997 with the Texas Rangers. And in 10 years, he's had his share of success. But he's also had his share of injuries and failure.
In those difficult moments in my life, I just pray. And I know that God have the answer.
It's a lesson he learned the hard way. In the beginning, he was riding the wave of success. But after one season with the Rangers, he was traded to the Cardinals, where his career took off. He hit 34 home runs that year, and he has the distinction of being the only Major League player to hit 2 Grand Slam home runs in a single inning.
Breaking ball, 2 grand slams by the same player.
Fernando became accustomed to the cheers of the fans. But one night, a voice penetrated the roar of the crowd.
I remember that I hit a double with the bases loaded. You know, the whole stadium going crazy. And I hear someone right next to me tell me, "You see all this glory? Nothing is gonna happen if I'm not with you." I was going, wow. I feel like a God talking to me in that moment.
Fernando was at the top of his game, and because he felt invincible, he didn't realize his career was about to take a dive.
Boom, and I broke my leg. I was not in God's way, and I broke my leg, and I started asking God, why did I broke my leg? After that year, I got traded to Montreal, and I said to myself, wow, everything going worse. Because I was in St. Louis, one of the best teams in the National League, and I go into the best team. Now I'm going to the worst team in the National League, the Montreal Expos.
While he was in Montreal, Fernando suffered other injuries and was eventually released. He tried out for other teams, but there were no takers. So he decided to quit baseball for good and return to the Dominican Republic. While he was there, something interesting happened.
There was one night when I was home. My wife told me the day before, I want you to go to the church with me tomorrow. And all my family went. I got there late. And that night changed my life forever.
Although Fernando had become a Christian as a child, he rededicated his life to the Lord.
God really touched my heart that night. It was amazing. Everything changed.
Fernando was now out of the game. And because of his frustration, he had no intention of returning. In fact, for the next 2 years, he didn't even pick up a baseball. But the church he was attending at the time was in desperate need of a new building, and he was the only one that could come up with the money. So now Fernando was faced with a very important decision.
You know, and God put it in my heart. The only way that we can buy the land, it's just if I come back to baseball one more time, make that money to buy the land. And I say, okay, if this is gonna be from God, God gonna send somebody here to my house with a contract in his hand.
And a week later,
I received a phone call from the Baltimore area.
Even though Fernando was a bit rusty, he worked his way back to the big leagues. And after 2 seasons, he earned enough money to build the new church. Today, Fernando is with the New York Mets and hopes that all who see his life on the field understand one thing.
Faith is everything. If you put God in your heart and ask him, I want the real deal to be follow you, God is gonna answer you. He's gonna support you 100%. It's the best relationship ever. More than your wife, more than your mother, more than your father. Jesus is gonna support you in every moment in your life.